Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. The infamous YouTube brick lady was found guilty of theft in a Houston courtroom.
We begin with some late breaking news. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle joining us live from the newsroom now with what's going on here. Sherman.
Yeah, so there's a few top stories that we're looking at. GoFundMe schemers found guilty tonight. Car crashes into a vet clinic in Montgomery County and fire scorches land in Galveston Island. That's some of the top stories tonight. Let's start with the GoFundMe scheme story. Remember Rhoda Osman? We talked about her a few times for the last couple of years. In 2023, she was known as the Brick Lady online. She made claims that a man threw a brick at her head outside of a bar in West Houston because she didn't give him her phone number. Well, she went on to collect $42,000 through a GoFundMe campaign she started after that. Well, a Harris County jury found her guilty of theft. She has to spend 90 days in jail, 10 years probation. She has to pay restitution, 10 years of no social media, which is big for her brand. All right, so let's go to the second story. In Montgomery County, a crazy car crash into a vet clinic. This was at the My Family Vet in Woodforest. Some fire crews got there and they found one SUV crash into the clinic. One person was inside of this car and two others in the clinic were hit by the car. First responders, they had to use airbags to lift the car off of one of them, and that sent them also to the hospital. We're not sure of what caused this crash, but the vet clinic is now closed until at least next Monday, according to them. And let's go to the grass fire. It burned, now confirmed to be 20 acres on Galveston Island near the San Luis Pass Bridge earlier today. This was at FM 3005. That's northeast of that bridge. At this hour, it's been 95% contained. Thankfully, no one was hurt. No local neighborhoods were affected. It burned towards the beach. So that's some of your top stories tonight. You can find more details on our Fox Local app. Anthony?
Her name is Rhoda Osman. Online, she's known as Brick Lady, and her video went viral in 2023. But tonight, she is here in the Harris County Jail after a jury found her guilty of stealing more than $40,000 in a GoFundMe scheme.
This man just hit me in my face with a brick.
The selfie video by Rhoda Osman got millions of likes, but prosecutors say her claims of a man throwing a brick at her head didn't match the evidence.
She kind of made the couple months that happened my life a living hell.
Olin Douglas is the man she told police threw the brick at her outside a Houston bar in 2023. He never got charged, but she did, after raising more than $42,000 online. Now, more than 2 years later, a jury found Osman guilty of theft, deceptively raising all that money.
I'm glad that she didn't get away with just being able to lie. It seems like she gets on social media and just manipulates and scams people.
Douglas is happy with the jury's verdict. The judge's sentencing plan, even more so. Osman will have to spend 90 days in jail, according to prosecutors, and pay full restitution. She'll be on probation for 10 years. Any violations could mean she goes to prison. But on top of that, she can't use social media in that 10-year period.
I'd say it's pretty rare.
Defense attorney Joe Venus isn't connected to the case, but says he's never seen a social media ban as a condition of probation.
If somebody's sophisticated enough with social media to commit a crime using social media, I imagine that it's a pretty big part of her life. So it's going to be difficult for her. But as I remind my clients all the time, probation's supposed to be hard.
Consequences Douglas says he hopes Osman faces after he received death threats, and the case got the internet's attention.
When this happened, it seemed like the world was loud. She had loud supporters. She had loud fans. And I'm just interested, where are y'all now?
We should note the judgment and final conditions of probation have not yet been signed in this case, but additional hearings have been scheduled when that could happen. Osman's defense attorney has not responded to multiple requests for comments, but based on records, we know they do plan to appeal this conviction. As for how her head ended up looking the way it did, prosecutors tell me the leading theory shared by a detective during the trial is that Osman fell and hit her head on a car door frame while intoxicated. And as for all the money, bank records revealed it got spent on trips, spas, and ride shares. Reporting downtown, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
Now, recently, Rhoda Osman, the foreign-born black woman who, in 2023, accused a man of hitting her in the face with a brick for rejecting her advances, was found guilty of participating in a fraud as related to trying to steal $42,000 in a GoFundMe page she set up soon after she said this alleged incident took place outside of a Houston nightclub. Now, back in 2023, Rhoda Osman came on social media showing a swollen side of her head, saying that a man hit her in the face with a brick after he rejected her advances, and used this video of herself with crying and showing her disfigured face in order to get sympathy from people on social media. And as she looked to get sympathy from people on social media, she allegedly launched a GoFundMe page and collected over $42,000 in donations. However, as she presented this whole picture on social media, the police began doing their own investigation in Houston, and as they began doing their own investigation in Houston, they soon started to look at the security camera footage outside of that nightclub from a neighboring business. And as they looked at that footage of Rhoda Osman as related to that business, they soon found out that the whole claim of a man hitting her with a brick was not true. And what really was going on was she was arguing with a male friend outside a white Maserati. She swung at the man and hit him in the face, and then the man hit her with a plastic water bottle. And then they said that the man drove away in another car, but eventually the whole case was found out to be a complete fraud, and found to be a complete fraud as related to the claim of being hit with a brick. And that's when the Houston police decided to charge Rhoda Osman with a count of felony theft with deception for looking to scam people on the GoFundMe website. And this is where GoFundMe basically refunded the money to all of the people who dropped the donations, and basically after this charged Rhoda Osman with a count of felony theft. And now that that case has gone to trial, she has been convicted of participating in that theft. And as a result, she now has to do 90 days in jail and is on 10 years probation and cannot go on social media anymore. Now, this whole verdict basically was kind of light as I see it, because what Rhoda Osman basically was doing was looking to try to run another scam like she did in the past, because Rhoda Osman did this before and got $40,000 previously in another scam. And what she was looking to do now was looking to try to get some more money by looking to try to play to the gender wars. That's what Rhoda Osman was looking to do. She was looking to play to the polarization as related to black men and black women by trying to make it look like, oh, some violent black man basically went out here and assaulted her because he rejected her advances, when nothing of the sort happened whatsoever. And what's really scary about this whole situation is that some innocent black man could have wound up being his life put in peril, all because of this foreign-born black woman's lies. Some black man could have had his entire life upended, all because of this woman's lies. So that's why I say she got off pretty light. I mean, if I were there, I would have given this woman the maximum, because she basically shows no remorse whatsoever as related to this crime. She didn't care about what she was doing. No, it was all about getting a payday for herself, and that's what makes this YouTube brick lady a complete monster. She basically, again, didn't care about any black man who would have suffered inside of the Houston criminal justice system for a crime he did not commit. No, for her, this was all about getting herself a payday at the expense of a black man as related to that club. But thank God, basically, in this case, what happened here is that the police did do a thorough investigation and soon found out that this case was nothing but a fraud as related to things, and that this woman was just out here looking to scam at the expense of the perception of black men. That's what was really scary about this whole thing. She was basically looking to capitalize on the narratives of black men as related to our behavior, looking to scam by saying, oh, this violent black brute basically beat me up, and because this violent black brute beat me up, looking to again garner sympathy from naive black women and some simp black men who would go out here and again look to cover this woman's cost, not knowing that this woman injected saline in the side of her head, went to the emergency room, and again looking to pull this scam, to pull her some money, and basically again playing everyone. That's what was going on here with Rhoda Osman again, and what happened here, at least we did get some justice. Not the justice I believe we should have got, but this woman, I believe, will possibly not be again out here. She will be out here once more. I believe she's gonna be out here once more, because these type of chicks, again, they can't stay away from social media. No, they're addicted to the attention, and because they're addicted to the attention that they want from social media, chances are we're gonna possibly see Rhoda Osman once more in the future, possibly out here looking to find some way to get attention on social media. She'll probably go and change her name. She'll probably go out here and change her appearance, but she'll possibly be back on social media, back out here running another scam sooner or later, because this is the pattern that chicks like this have. But the scary part, again, is that when you have chicks like this, black men, we gotta be careful again, and black women, we have to be careful about getting involved in these type of cases. No, we gotta sit here and think critically before we go out here and again go out here and give sympathy to people like this, because people like this, what they do is they see things going on like the gender war. They see things like going on like this divide between black men and black women. And opportunists like this, what they want to do is capitalize on that gender war between black men and black women, and then have us, as we go out here fighting against each other, they're out here looking to make a payday at our expense, as related to us, and make complete fools out of us. And then as we're sitting there, again, buying into their stories, which are nothing but lies, we're fighting each other. And that's the thing we have to be careful about. And that's what this whole case really reminded me. You know, this is why you got to sit back in it for a minute, like Mr. Superboy used to say. You know, sit back, don't get into your emotions, and wait to see where all the information goes before you go out here and make a video talking about this whole case. You got to go out here and again be careful out here, because chicks like this again will go out here and run a fraud on you again as related to things, make you believe something's going on when nothing's going on except the con that basically plays to our feelings and looks to make a fool out of us. But thank God again, we were able to find the truth out about this woman, before she wound up running this scam after and on the black community, because this was all about running a scam on the black community with the gender wars. This woman knew what the gender wars were. She knew that she could basically again use this as an opportunity to make money for herself. And sadly, many black people, we are so polarized and so caught up in this gender war, we can't see how people are weaponizing this gender war to make a profit for themselves, whether it be these white supremacists or these foreign-born black people. They basically are looking to profit at our expense profit at our expense as related to our feelings in this gender war. And that's why we've got to stop fighting each other and start working together as black men and black women, because what white supremacy wants to do is have us fighting each other and then profit at the expense of our reputations, at the expense of our image, at the expense of our stories, and create a narrative where they look to divide and conquer us. This is something we have to understand, again, about women like this Rhoda Osman. Again, the only way opportunists like this can operate is if we allow it. And again, this is why we've got to stop fighting each other in this gender war and start to get ourselves together and get our minds right. Now, if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Drafted Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about different subjects, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.